Hey there, I'm Coach Michael Burt. Welcome to another edition of Monster Producer Podcast. We believe a monster producer is a legendary creature that combines multiple skill sets to dominate a market, and there's no subject that has gotten more interest from what I've been doing lately around the country than the subject of activating a prey drive in a person. How do you activate the prey drive in a person? And I'm going to give you some definitions of prey drive today because it's really, really important. At the end of the day, when I'm looking at top producers, it's not skill that separates people. It's not intelligence that separates people. It's not personality that separates people. It's not their looks that separates people. Really, at the end of the day, what separates the top producers is one thing: pure drive. We refer to that drive in our coaching program as prey drive. So today, I'm going to break down this concept. How do you activate the prey drive in yourself and in your team and in your family and in your spouse and in your kids? Because once this thing is activated, then I'm telling you, there is no stopping you. I'm Coach Michael Burt. You're watching the Monster Producer Podcast live from the Greatness Factory.
A monster producer is a legendary creature who combines multiple skill sets to dominate their market. Are you ready to dominate?
I believe everybody needs a good coach in life. Running a business can be tough. It can beat you down. We bring the motivation. We bring the structure. We bring the strategy. How do you explain your services? How do you work a selling system? How do you follow up like a machine? How do you extract 5.7 referrals from every transaction? Our number one goal is to get you a 43% increase in your business. And I'm going to show you how to be a monster producer.
I must confess that I feel like a monster.
Prepare yourself for a 43% increase to your business.
I feel like a monster.
Monster Producer
Ladies and gentlemen,
begins now.
All right, welcome to the Monster Producer Podcast, guys. Every month I take the big concept that I'm covering in our coaching program. I break it down into small bite-sized chunks. I want to thank all the people that join us on Facebook Live that are out there. Matt Monero, thank you, big friend. I've heard you talk about it. Evan Stewart Conference. This concept, Pat Hilton, I'm telling you, a lot of people talk about motivation and they talk about flipping the switch. What I've really done is put this down into a science of how do we activate this internal instinct that you have to find, capture, and get it. Okay? So like I said in the intro, when I'm looking at top producers, it's not the skill, it's not the intelligence, it's not the personality, it's not the looks. All those things are important. What really separates people is the pure prey drive. And so I'm going to show you what that means. Prey drive is the instinctive inclination of a carnivore to find, pursue, and capture prey. Now, does that sound like a good salesperson? You find it, you pursue it, you bring it home. This term is chiefly used to describe and analyze habits in dog training. Dogs have a prey drive. I actually believe humans have a prey drive. Now, who turned me on to this? Hubert Payne was a obscure psychologist named Bob Samara, who was in the War Dog Division of the military. And the War Dog Division of the military, I think it was Vietnam, is he would go ahead of the troops and the infantry, and with this dog that was well trained, and they would search out booby traps, bombs, anything that could harm the troops. Now think about if that was your job every day. And he said those dogs had a prey drive in them. Humans too have this prey drive. While modern dogs are domesticated creatures, sounds like humans, that can be trained to behave in a civil manner, their instincts can always come out. Now let me tell you what this implies. It implies that you, as a monster producer, as a legendary creature, have instincts in you that have been suppressed. Now, why have those instincts been suppressed in you? Why have you held back? Why have you not found and went and get it? My definition of prey drive is the ability to optically see something, either visually with your eyes or internally with the mind, and have the activation, the persistence, and the intensity to go get it. Notice those three words. Activation, we got to activate it. I'm going to show you how to do that today. We have to have a persistence, which is a long obedience in the same direction, and we have to have an intensity. Most people are lacking one of those things. They can't activate. I would tell you 8 out of 10 people have not activated their prey drive. Okay, so what does it look like in humans? I showed you what it looks like in animals. In a carnivore, the ability to find, capture, pursue, kill prey, and bring it home. In humans, it is these 4 things. Number 1, the ability to see something and go get it. And I'm going to use the word whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes. We don't whine, we don't complain, we don't make excuses. It's the ability to see it and go get it and do whatever it takes. Legally, ethically, morally. How do you instill this in a person? It's a commitment without all the facts. You see, high prey drive people have the ability to commit to something without all the facts. They're on the front end of trends. They take action before other people do. They don't need all the information before they go get it, okay? Number 3, it's a killer instinct. I'm going to show you how to do that in the close in just a minute. One more call, one more text, one more effort, one more push. That's a prey drive, okay? The ability to use negative emotions to get positive results. High prey drive people have the ability to use negative emotions to get positive results. Now, these are the areas I want to look at as it relates to prey drive and activating this in this monster producer, because my guess is most of the people that get into monster producer, my coaching program, have a desire to go to a higher level. They just can't figure out how to do it. So they're stuck in a static state or a complacent state, or their business has reached a plateau and there's no growth there, okay? So I want to show you how to activate this prey drive in closing another person. This is a big problem for a lot of people. They don't have the prey drive to go for the kill. They sales flirt. They talk around the sale. They present information, but they don't ask the hard questions. I'm going to show you how to use prey drive when you're afraid to fight through your fears. In action and the levels you need to take, how much volume you need in relationship with your spouse, on your team, and ultimately in you. Now, let's unpack this concept of closing. It takes a high prey drive to close another person. You got to think of it this way. I can't help you until you commit, but once you commit, I'm not going to let you fail. To have the guts to ask another person for something takes a high prey drive. It takes a killer instinct. It takes the ability to ask these questions. On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about doing this? Are you somewhat serious, not serious, or real serious? That's one of the first questions I ask people. Okay, here's another one. I can't help you until you commit, but once you commit, I'm not going to let you fail. Number 3, is there anything that would prohibit you from taking action with me? Number 4, it seems like you want to do this. Would you like to get started right now? Now, there is an uneasiness for a sales professional that has a low prey drive to ask these questions. So what happens is we say, we'll follow up, we'll schedule a time, we'll get on a call, we'll present the ideas, we'll send you a proposal. I got to shift a gear in you to where you know you're a trained killing machine, man. You know you can ask, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, man, how serious are you about this? Is there anything that would prohibit you from taking action with me here today? Okay, it seems like you want to do this. Would you like to get started right now? If I send the contract over to you right now, is there anything that would prohibit you from signing it? Because I can't help you till you commit, but once you commit, I'm not going to let you fail. Okay, so we've been teaching this month in our coaching program to ask those questions. Let me go through them again. On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about this? Are you somewhat serious, not serious, or real serious? Okay, I can't help you till you commit, but once you commit, I'm not going to let you fail. Seems like you want to do this. Would you like to get started right now? I'm going to send the contract over to you. Is there anything that would prohibit you from signing it and send it right back to me? Because I can't hold anything on the calendar until we get a commitment from you. Now, that's one piece of closing. Let me give you some other pieces. Asking for a referral. Too many people believe that you got to go through this long sales cycle before you ask for a referral. I've met people, and in the first meeting, in the first hour, said, hey, if this was valuable for you, there's probably 3 people in your network that I don't know that I need to know. There's probably 3 people in your network that I don't know that I need to know. Will you introduce me to those 3 people? Okay, if this has been good for you, I got a big mission, I got a small time to get there. Will you help me introduce me to more people on planet Earth so I can help those people? See, you got to get out of your brain that you got to deliver a service, have a long sales cycle before you have the prey drive to ask for a referral. You can ask for a referral. in the very first time you meet a person. Hey, if this may not be good for you, it's probably good for somebody else. Who are 3 people I need to be helping? All right, asking for an introduction. Hey, would you introduce me to this person? Would you open the door for this person? Will you make a connection to this person? Okay? So I want you to think about this concept of feeder systems. A feeder system is a person, group of people, association that can feed you large amounts of business. Okay? It can feed you large amounts of business. But what I want to tell you is those feeder systems have to be fed. So I want you to identify 5 feeder systems right now. 5 individuals, 5 groups, 5 people who can feed you more business. Okay? Who can feed you more business. 5 groups that can feed you more business. And ask yourself, how often are you engaging with these people? How much are you communicating with these people? What are you feeding them? You don't always have to feed them leads. You can feed them energy. You can feed them emotional support. You can feed them, right? So you can feed them being there for them. Then I want you to identify 5 influencers, 5 people you need to know. I was telling my staff yesterday, it doesn't matter if we go and we're on a podcast, if we don't take a podcast and turn it into an event or turn it into a coaching program or turn it into an activation event. It doesn't matter if Dustin Black and I get together and have a great evening at the lodge if we don't turn it into business. We have to learn to optimize relationships. What happens is a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am kind of world. So we come in, we do the job, we move on, we forget about all that optimization that we had. Okay? So I want you to take a second right now, and on the break, I want you to come up with 5 feeder systems and 5 influencers you need to know. And what's the next step to optimize this relationship? Because it takes pray drive. What did I say? Activation, persistence, intensity. We come back. I'm going to show you how to use negative emotions. How to use negative emotions to activate your pray drive versus paralyze you. I'm Coach Michael Burt. You're watching Monster Producer. Welcome back to Monster Producer Podcast. Basically, every month I take what I'm teaching in my big coaching program, I break it down into an online platform that's in my Monster Growth System. It's over 100 hours in my Monster Growth System. Okay, if you're not in there watching my Monster Growth Academy right now, every day training is not something you did, it's something you do. Guys, I'm telling you, training is not something you did every now and then, it's something you do every day. If you're not training every day, if you not have good content, if you don't have role play, if you don't have testing, if you don't have content, repetition, role play, and testing, then you don't have a training program. You got an exposure program. Okay, every month in Monster Producer, we're coaching people. Our goal is to get a 43% increase. One of the fastest things we're going to do it in is we got to activate the pray drive in you. We got to activate this button in you, okay? So how do you use negative emotions to create positive results? I'm going to show you 4. How do you use disappointment? How do you use anger? How do you use anxiety? And how do you use money problems? How do you use fear? How do you use negative emotions to create positive results? Small-time people use fear to contract. So I want you to think of areas of your life right now that you're contracting in. Your contraction. Contraction means I'm scared, I'm contracting to a place of comfort and complacency. I'm not pushing, I'm not taking risks, I'm not reaching out, I'm not expanding, I'm contracting. Now tell me, there's never been one person to become wealthy by cutting. Okay? Let me say it again, there's never been one person that's become wealthy by cutting. Cut my budget, cut this out, cut this out. What you need to be doing is expanding, exerting. This is the difference between small-time people and big-time people. You need to learn to exert when you get scared. How do you use disappointment? My wife asked me once, how do you handle all the disappointment from all of the people who have told you they're going to do something and they didn't do it? You know what I said to her? When you understand human nature is to start with good intention and to fall off the wagon. Human nature is to disappoint. Human nature is to be selfish and narcissistic and egotistical. Human nature is to not come through. This is human nature, guys. Once you understand human nature, you're not let down by people when they let you down. But the only way to really use disappointment is to have so much volume. Have so much volume that when a few people let you down, it doesn't even faze you. Have so much sales coming in that when you lose a couple deals, it don't faze you. Have so much opportunity that when one opportunity, like right now, I presented an opportunity to a person yesterday, they weren't interested in it. Too busy being fabulous, too busy doing this. Hey, it's okay. I'm just going to take that opportunity to somebody else. They can make the $500,000 that I was presenting to them. That person ain't going to get the $500,000. This person is going to get the $500,000, okay? Be open to anything, closed off to nothing. How to use anger? Use anger as a motivator. Use these negative emotions. Use them. Extract the value. Let them motivate you. Let them activate your prey drive, okay? What about anxiety? Anxiety is a key indicator that you need to take more action, guys. It's a key indicator that you need to take more action. And how do you use money problems? You don't have money problems. You got a courage problem. You got a effort problem, but you ain't got money problems. There is no shortage of money. There's a shortage of creativity. There's a shortage of courage. There's a shortage of prey drive. There's a shortage of activation, persistence, intensity. Now, every theory in the world when it comes to motivation, every single theory in the world that talks about motivation says the exact same things. Motivation or activation of motivation is when there's a tension between what you have and what you want. Or I want something and there I move toward it. Physiological need, a biological need. Here's the problem. This when I was studying these theories, this is what it showed me was the real problem. What happens when your basic needs are met? Satisfied needs never motivate people, only unsatisfied needs. So, if I have a biological need and that biological need is met, what happens then? I don't have any prey drive. What happens when I have a financial need? My financial needs are met. I lose prey drive. So you got to start thinking about, how do I activate my prey drive when there's no negative emotion, no anger, no disappointment? Life is good. I'm making good money. I live in a nice house. My kid goes to a good school. I got a good marriage. Like when there's no negative emotions, because somebody talks about you in a negative way, it'll activate your prey drive. Somebody comes at you in a negative way, it'll activate your prey drive. But what happens when it's all just good? This is the biggest killer and destroyer of prey drive in the world. It's complacency. A gradual settling to a place of mediocrity. So let me give you 5 areas that will activate prey drive. Number 1, competition. Competition. You don't need to be competing versus other people, although you can use competition with other people to activate your prey drive. You need to be competing versus where you are versus where you're capable of going. Number 2, loss or fear of loss. This motivates me. We got a nice greatness factor. We got a nice house. We got a nice plane. We got a lot of nice things. I don't want to lose those things. I don't want to lose. It motivates me. Work hard. I like this life. I don't want to lose this life. Number 3, inspired by others. How many of you, by a show of hands, your prey drive is activated when you get around other big-time people? When you place yourself in an environment where you're inspired, when you're getting around people who have a high drive. Okay, number 4, environment. Have you ever been in an environment that suppressed your prey drive? Where there was no motivation, lots of apathy. My wife was talking about an environment that she's been in. She says it's just apathetic, like nobody cares, the place is dirty. It's like apathy, right? What that'll do is that suppresses prey drive. And what about this one? Embarrassment. Some people have to be embarrassed by their performance, embarrassed by their financial condition, embarrassed by the car they're driving, embarrassed by the house they're living in. Some people have to have this to activate their prey drive. Here's the biggest thing I want to tell you. I want you to take a minute right now, and I want you to figure out what activates your prey drive. Is it competition? Is it loss or fear of loss? Is it environment? Is it embarrassment? And I want to end this segment by asking you one thing. Out of these 3 areas, what is the number 1 thing that you need? Is it activation of prey drive because you hadn't figured out which button to flip? Is it persistence, your ability to lock down until you see something through to its conclusion? Or is it intensity? Because the size of your goals really matter. Now, in our course this month, I talk about activating prey drive in your marriage, in your spouse, in your kids, in your team. These are all things, but the very first place you got to activate it is in you. Once you activate it in you, you then understand the importance of activating in other people. Covey used to teach us, find your voice, inspire other people to find their voice. You first have to find yours. Okay? This is how you activate Pray Drive. Now, we got some assignments from this session. Number one, I want you to go back and I want you to talk about, I want you to focus and practice on closing people without consideration or hesitation. I want you to practice having the Pray Drive and going for the kill with those 3 questions or 4 questions I told you, okay? I want you to go back and use your negative emotions to activate Pray Drive. Then I want you to understand that if your basic needs are met, maybe that's why your Pray Drive is not activated. And then I want you to finish up with the concept of, out of the 5 motivators of Pray Drive or activators of Pray Drive, which one does it for you? Competition, loss of losing something, inspired by others, environment, or embarrassment. If you're not a Monster Producer, we're running a free trial right now. You need to be a Monster Producer, man. Get in there and let me coach you. Get in there and let me coach you. Get in there and let me help you, because I'm a master at activating Pray Drive in other people. Maybe the best person on planet Earth based on my unique past and my unique experiences and who I've studied and who I've been coached by, and my experiences as a championship women's basketball coach. I used to take little girls that come in scared to death. They didn't want to talk to anybody, look at anybody, and I would turn them into trained little killing machines that were confident. And that's what I can do for you. That's what I can do for your team. That's what I can do for your business. So reach out to me right now. I'm Coach Michael Burt. I believe everybody needs a coach in life. My coaching program is Monster Producer. Let's get on in there and get serious about your potential. There needs to be a tension between where you are and where you're capable of going, guys. There needs to be an energy and an intensity toward where you're going. I'm Coach Michael Burt. It's a brand new edition of Monster Producer. Hey guys, I'm Coach Michael Burt, and I want to remove any hesitation you have for letting me be your coach right now. I'm offering 1 month free trial of Monster Producer. You get the full benefits, you get the full network, you get the full coaching, you get the accountability every week, you get everything a Monster Producer gets. We're going to give you 1 month for free. All you got to do is email us at coach@coachburt.com. Say, I'm in. Free month trial, no obligation. If you don't like it or don't think it can get you to a higher frequency at the end of 1 month, you can move on about your life. But I think if you just give it a shot, if you just give old coach a shot, let us work with you for 1 month. Let my team work with you for a month. I'm going to show you how we can get you a significant increase in your life and your business. 1 month free. Monster Producer, email me, coach@coachburt. Say, I'm in. 1 month free, coach. We'll get you uprolled and enrolled, and we'll get you started.